Hey everyone, welcome to Aftermath TV. We got Jimmy Corderas and Nug on here. We're missing Anthony Corelli, but the show will go on as always. What's going on, boys? How are you?
I'm okay. I mean, like, I'm not wearing socks. That's too much information, maybe. But I'm trying to figure out ways to just be different around the house. You know what I mean?
Yep. I'm not wearing socks either, if that makes you feel better.
Oh, cool. See? I'm not alone.
Virtual high five.
There
you
you
guys
go.
bragging about not wearing socks. What are you guys, going to church? You, of course, for every Zoom meeting, you are pantsless from the waist down. That's how it works.
Or we have like nice tops or jackets, and then we have sweatpants.
Yeah, okay, brother.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I've got summer surf jam shorts underneath.
Nug, how are you?
I'm getting along. I'm doing all right. I'm excited about Money in the Bank.
Yeah, let's talk about it. How it's going to be at WWE Headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. I'm really excited to see how this plays out. I think maybe because I was so impressed with how WrestleMania 36 looked and how WWE was able to come up with something different and interesting and very entertaining. And I'm hopeful that Money in the Bank will be similar to that. Because what does that corporate building have? 7 floors? I was reading somewhere that they're going to try and utilize each floor. Like, I just think that there's so many cool things that can be done. I almost feel like I'm going to be watching a little bit of like an action movie. I don't know. That's the kind of vibe I'm going into this with.
Well, it's very interesting because at WrestleMania, like you said, the bar has been set.
Yeah.
We had that wonderful graveyard match with AJ Styles and The Undertaker. And then we had that, I will call it a cinematic masterpiece between Bray Wyatt and John Cena, which was so much fun. So the bar has been set high already. This is going to be interesting because if I remember correctly, there's like, maybe they start in the parking garage because there is a parking garage underneath. It's like, it's a 3-level parking garage. Maybe they work their way up. If someone does not make it to Vince's office and somebody gets slammed on Vince's desks and Vince just being there going, "What are you doing here, pal?" I will be disappointed.
I'll be disappointed if somebody doesn't go off the roof. I think this is perfect. Speaking of action movie, you're going to have moments of somebody going, "Whoa," and somebody grabbing their trunks, you know, and like just holding on for dear life so that they don't fall off the roof. There's going to be like, it's not just you're working your way up to the roof to the ring, but then you might go off the top rope on the ring on the roof, and then you might go off the ladder off the ring off the roof. Like, it's just, there's even higher bits. Remember the old WCW match where they had like a cage on top of a cage on top of a cage, and it just was the Tower of Doom match, and they had like that great big cage on the top? This is like that, only on top of a building, and it's bananas to me. And the first time they mentioned it, I went, "What are they thinking?" And then the next thought in my head was, of course this is what they're doing. This is hilarious.
What's that Christmas, or it's not a Christmas movie, but everyone thinks it's a Christmas movie with Bruce Willis that everyone loves?
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Yes, Die Hard. Why do I feel like when I'm thinking of Money in the Bank at WWE Headquarters, I'm like, Die Hard? I don't know. I, for some reason, am thinking of that. And my expectations are high for this because I think it's going to be really cool. And like I said, after WrestleMania 36, the bar, like Jimmy, like you said, the bar has been set. And I really think that WWE can do something cool here. I mean, even seeing what headquarters look like and someone going into Vince's office and them utilizing each floor and the parking garage and being thrown off the roof or, you know, wobbling on the roof. It's so cool. It's so different. I think that if they deliver on this pay-per-view as well, I don't know if I think that after all this passes with COVID-19, we're still going to want to see things like this, which is really, really like a silver lining to come through COVID-19, you know, with WWE and everything that they've been producing and creating.
Exactly. And like you said, the building is very unique in the fact that there is a lot of memorabilia there as well. Like in the lobby, there's a statue of Bruno Sammartino and stuff like, so imagine somebody utilizing that. What I want to see in this match is a little bit of everything. I want to see some seriousness. I want to see some good action, but I wouldn't mind a little bit of comedy here, a little bit of variety. Like, let's say 2 guys fight towards the elevators. The button accidentally gets pushed. The doors open. As they stumble in, there's like a secretary there holding notes, and they just sit quietly. And as the elevator's going up, they stand there with that weird elevator music in the background, and they just wait to, you know, it stops, the door is open, she gets off, and as the doors close, bam, they go out. It's, you know, just, there's so much here that you can do.
there's all of this happening at WWE headquarters, not just people who work there, like a secretary or like a file clerk or whatever, but also the doors could open up and there's a Hall of Famer who just happens to be there that day. And then he just gets involved and tries to take the briefcase for himself. You can have knockdown, drag-out fights everywhere with little Easter eggs for your longtime WWE fans, because this is WWE headquarters, and it's been the headquarters for a long time. They are building a new one, so who's to say that this particular match doesn't tear the old building down as they are working on building the new thing? You can break anything you want. It's all getting torn down anyway, so just go nuts.
Yep.
Well, this is, sometimes our complaint is that we feel like we know what's going to happen. And I feel like with this pay-per-view, there's so much room to see where things will go. And I think that's what's exciting about this. But my question for you guys is, with 2 matches in the same location, how will WWE make both of them different from each other?
That's the challenge, making them different in the same location. But then again, when you look at a wrestling match, or take Monday Night Raw, for example, how many matches did we have during Monday Night Raw? Each match was different and unique in its own way. Again, you're kind of limited when you have one building and the same concept. But at the same time, I'm feeling confident that there is going to be a way that they're going to be able to differentiate the different matches, the 2 different matches.
And one of the best things they can do is separate them as much as possible. Start the show with one and put one way at the end, just so that you get as much time in between them. I know it's maybe the difference of an hour or 2 hours between them, but to have some time or some other matches go on in between those 2 matches lets you forget about the first one, and then the second one seems more fresh. You can also just start everybody in the same spot, or start everybody in a different part of the building, and they just have to find their way to where they need to go.
On that, really quick, Nug, I will wait till we do our prediction show. But now that you said about spacing the matches out and stuff like that, you made my hamster run on the wheel. Let's put it that way.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Oh, I love when our hamsters get out.
Well, we've made friends these last few weeks. We're very close. We've been very close.
Would you guys, is it safe to say your guys' expectations are high for Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
Or Jimmy, you seem a little hesitant. Why?
Because again, like I said earlier, the bar has been set high with these other matches, in this type of cinematic presentation. So I'd like to see them spaced out a little more. I don't want to see one every month, but at the same time, during this time of lockdown, for lack of a better term, I understand why they're happening a little more frequently. I just like to see them spaced out a little more. That's all.
Yeah, in the days of the Big Four, where there was only 4 a year, that is my absolute favorite. I think that's how it should be. I don't need to see one all the time. And with what's going on in the world, I don't think we should be getting together that frequently. But as a wrestling fan, I'm happy there's something to watch. I'm happy there's an event. I'm happy these titles are being defended. I don't know what to expect. I can't say my expectations are high because I don't expect anything. I like being surprised. So this will be a giant surprise no matter what happens, especially because it's happening on the roof of a building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for our wins and fails show after. I always am, but I'm hopeful that it's like WrestleMania 36, where if we have a fail, it's not even really considered a fail, and our wins are just, we're like you said, Nug, we're very surprised and honestly just impressed with how WWE comes together and figures out a way to keep us entertained during these times.
Yeah, I don't even know if fail is the correct word. I hate using the word fail. Maybe a critique or what we would like to have seen different.
Yeah,
needs improvement.
Yeah, not a huge fail. Always just like I think an opportunity was missed. I think mostly is our.
There you go. Instead of this whole world of everything sucks.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Money in the Bank is coming up on the WWE Network. We still have some time before that, so I'm sure we'll see some updates and, of course, who qualifies and who's up for the Money in the Bank briefcase. So I'm excited for that. I got my picks so far, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on Aftermath. Guys, we're on Aftermath or a live stream every single Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern time or 1 p.m. Eastern time, depending on the flow of things. But we're on YouTube and Facebook Live every Friday, right?
Yep.
So
right.
If any WWE fans want to tune in and ask their questions or comments, we're there. We're so happy to talk to you. So make sure you stay posted on Sportsnet, and we'll be there. We're excited to talk about all this stuff. It gives us something to do.
We should use the hashtag AskAftermath.
Yes, Yeah, send us your questions.
Yes,
Hashtag
please.
Ask Aftermath. Jimmy, great plug.
It's what I do.